Hey there, good afternoon, and welcome to Prog Monster. My name is Murph, and I am the host of this show. A show dedicated to progressive rock, hard rock, heavy metal, and other forms of rock music. And one of those other forms of rock music is these guys. So the series today is My Strange Fascinations. And my strange fascination for today is with Chrissy Hynde, lead vocalist for The Pretenders. Now, Chrissy Hynde to me is different than most female vocalists. And the reason being is I really liked her voice. It's kind of different than most. But she was much more aggressive than what I was used to from a female vocalist. And I've been listening to Ann Wilson and Stevie Nicks and that, who all have great voices. But Chrissy didn't necessarily have a great voice. She's just very aggressive. Almost a guy in a lot of ways, and so I like that about her, and it drew me to their music. I think she makes the music. She plays her harmonica on there too, which is quite good. But my big time with them is when I went out west when I was 19, hitchhiked out west up against my parents. Didn't really care for that, but that's what I did. I hitchhiked out there. It took me about a week. And the only CD I had on me, I had my old Walkman. I used to plug the cassettes in and put them on your head. And so I bought this Walkman before I went, and the only CD I took with me was The Pretenders' Learning to Crawl. I played the shit out of that album all the time. Played it all day long, every day. And anytime I've gone to Calgary a couple of other times, and anytime I'm out there, first thing that comes to mind is The Pretenders and Chrissy Hynde's voice. Yeah, she had a huge impact. I remember one time I was doing the laundry in a place in and around Calgary. I don't remember too much about it, other than I remember playing that Chrissy Hynde. That's it. My biggest memory of that whole trip that year was that Pretenders album and her voice. And the thing about Chrissy is that she ended up having a baby with Ray Davies of the Kinks, whose book is up there on the shelf somewhere. I don't see it now, but I know it's up there. Oh, it's up here. There it is at the top, right up at the top there. See it? So anyways, yeah, so my big memory was of that. And I came back from out west and I started collecting their albums, and this was one of the ones I got. And then Pretenders 2, I got that as well, and I was playing them all the time. They actually, for a while there in the early 80s, they were one of my favorite bands. They weren't in my top 5, but they were up there in those bands vying for position. Definitely were top 10 for sure. They're not there now, but I haven't listened to them much over the last few decades. Kind of ended when they put out the album that came out after Middle in the Road. I liked it quite a bit, and then for me they just vanished off the map, and so did Chrissy, unfortunately. But yeah, a very aggressive female voice. But she had a neat voice too. It didn't, it didn't sound inappropriate for the music they were playing. And I wasn't always the biggest fan of female vocalists. I mean, other than Ann Wilson and Stevie Nicks and maybe one or two others that I can't think of right now. Nina Hagen was one of them back then too. I just didn't have a lot of female vocalists I listened to, and now there's a lot more, but back then those were basically the ones. And Chrissy was definitely right at the top at that time period. She was probably my favorite female singer at that time period. Played I got a lot of comfort out of that music for that time period. So anyways, there you have it. Chrissy Hynde, legendary vocalist of The Pretenders. Yeah, just so good. So anyways, I hope you liked this episode. And I hope that you subscribe, and it's much appreciated, and we'll be back with another episode tomorrow morning. Take care. Frog Monster over.